So real quick guys, before this video starts, I recorded this unboxing about 8 or so weeks ago, almost 2 months. This unboxing happened somewhere in mid-August and I never got around to editing it until now. So I apologize for just how long it's taken me to do this video, and overall I would say I did pretty okay. So here it is. Hey, so 2 weeks ago, I recorded my introductory video to YouTube where I explained what I was going to do, what my goal was, I asked you what you guys wanted from me. And in that video, I mentioned that I actually had a package on the way to my house containing a bunch of puzzles. I never got a chance to open it because I was out of town for 2 weeks. So now, I finally have a chance to do that. This one is coming from thecubicle.com. I do think they're definitely the best place to buy puzzles. All my puzzle unboxings are going to be from The Cubicle, and this is my first one, so I may not know what I'm doing, but I wouldn't expect to have too much face cam because I don't have another camera, so I'm gonna have to use my iPhone to record this, and I apologize in advance if it's a little too close. I can't zoom it out too far, especially not in face cam mode. So I'm definitely gonna have to look through the camera at the puzzle sometimes, and I may not be doing that, so if the camera shakes every now and then, just forgive me. Anyway, I also have some blue tape on here because underneath that is all the shipping info, and I can't have that on camera because, well, just for privacy reasons. So anyway, with all that said, let's get into it. So I'm gonna have a little bit of trouble keeping this package in frame because this is pretty big, and like I said, I can't zoom out too much, but it's not a huge package, but I'm looking on camera right now, it's not really fitting all the way, so I do have a knife here, so let's go ahead and open this up. I'm very excited for all the puzzles that are going to be in here. And I'm just looking at that right there. I'm definitely not doing this right. I guess I'm an amateur for this type of packaging. It's taped all the way around the side, so if I can get some leverage here, I can kind of see some of the puzzles in here. I'm gonna cut my fingers. Man, I can't see anything that's in here. What's gonna be in here? So we got some packing material. Not all of this is gonna be on camera. I'm just gonna pull them out for a little bit. There's some bubble wrap. So I'm gonna set this right here. First thing I saw in this box, this is going to be the Chi 2x2. I'm very excited for this one. It's been a while since I got a 2x2. And then the next thing we got here is the Chifa Square One. It's also been a while since I got a Square One. I actually only have one Square One in my whole collection, so I'm very excited for this one. Alright, this looks to be the Gear Barrel. I'm really excited for this one. I've wanted something like one of this one ever since I saw J.R. Cuber unbox it, so I'm very excited to open this one up. Alright, this looks to be the Chi Fisher Cube. As a matter of fact, all of these puzzles are going to be from Chi. This one is the Windmill Cube. I'm also really excited for this one. This is just another classic that I've been kind of missing from my collection for a while. Let's keep on going. This one's kind of stuck. This one is the Chi-Hang Megaminx. I actually did have a Chi-Hang Megaminx, but it was in white. I never got this puzzle in black. So I'm actually going to go ahead and start with this one, but I am very excited to get into this, even though I already have one. I can't really put this anywhere on my desk. Hold on. Alright, we also have the oldest looking packaging in here. This must have been on the shelf for a while. The Chi-Sing 7x7, my first ever 7x7. I have a 6x6 that I got last year, but I never got a 7x7. And I'm very excited for this one because this is one that performs really well for being a budget puzzle. And then we got a few more things in here. We got 10 puzzles in here, so this is the Chi Gear Cube. I got this to go along with the Gear Barrel. I did not get the full set, though. I will have to do that in the future. But this one I'm also very excited for. Looks like there's a little bit of dust in the box. We'll just have to see how that goes out. And then a new non-WCA puzzle that I got. This one was more recent, the Coin Pyraminx. I have the original Coin Cube. I actually got that a year after it came out. I'm very excited for this one. But I'm going to save this one for later in the vid, because I want to go over the standard puzzles first. And then I'm just looking in the box here. We've got a big pamphlet with all the lubes inside. I'm not going to get into too much detail right now. Maybe I'll look at that later, but not for the rest of the video. And then the last puzzle that we have in the box is the 3x3x2. This is just one of those classic cuboids that I've never got. So I'm very excited to open this one up. This is one of the reasons why I was excited for this package in the first place. And then we also have the receipt. I'm not going to show that. And the business card. So it says Cubicle Labs on this side, and then thecubicle.com, puzzles for everyone. So that's everything in the box. I'm just going to set that off to the side. I'll make sure to clean all this stuff up later. So because I actually already own a Chi-Hang Megaminx in white, which I have right here, I'm actually going to go ahead and open up the black Chi-Hang first. So I'm very excited to open this up. Let's get right into it. So, wow. Ooh, there goes the instruction booklet. The main event is this. So I actually already had a Chi-Hang Megaminx. This is a little bit dusty, but I did not have it in black, and I have most of my Chi budget puzzles. I don't have all of them, mind you. Most of my budget puzzles from Chi are actually in black and not white, so this was one of the exceptions until now, and they did have a sale on the Cubicle for this, so I kind of took advantage of that. So just checking out turning. It's definitely very smooth. I'm not the fastest turner because it's hard for me to be accurate and fast at the same time. So just checking out turning on this side, just caught a little bit. Definitely when I'm not looking at the puzzle and at the camera, it's definitely hard for me to kind of understand, because this is a pretty awkward camera angle I'm using. It will get better eventually. Eventually I'll have a camera mounted to the ceiling, but for now I'm just gonna have to stick with this. It definitely turns really well. I think first impressions, it definitely feels a little bit sandy. It's just gonna take some breaking in to kind of rub this feeling away, but it definitely feels really nice. It's definitely very smooth, though I can feel the pieces rubbing against each other a little bit. But I think that's a sufficient enough scramble. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this off to the side, solve it later. Pretty sure this is the Chi-D. I can't really tell just by looking at the box, but this one I have not gotten a 2x2 in over 2 years, and I actually have only 2 of them in my collection, so this is definitely a good one to kind of fill the gaps, especially since it's been a while since I got one. But first impressions, it looks kind of loose. Not really. It's actually kind of tight. I didn't really check out the corner cutting since I've already done this for the Megaminx, but let's see how this turns. Definitely feels very nice. It's very blocky. 2x2s are usually known for being blocky, but this one actually feels pretty nice. And definitely feels very smooth. I really like pretty much all of Chi's budget puzzles. The color scheme's kind of different. This may stick out a little bit compared to my other one. My other ones, I mean. It's been a while since I got them. But checking out tensions. Let's see how the corner cutting goes. I'm not going to try 45. Yeah, it's not quite 45. It's actually pretty good. Let's check out reverse. The cuts aren't too great. Reverse isn't doing amazingly, but it's definitely possible to reverse cut it. Not terrible. Just looking at the checker. that looks pretty nice. I really like these shades, even though they are different from the puzzles that I got last year. I definitely really like this, so I'm going to go ahead and mix this one up. This is one that I wasn't too excited for, since I've had 2x2s and nothing too crazy. In fact, most of the puzzles I have are way harder than 2x2, but this one is definitely doable, and it seems to be an okay scramble. The next puzzle that I want to go over is the very first 7x7 that I got, the Chi Sing. So, I've said this multiple times, I don't have a 7x7 in my collection. Here goes another instruction manual. So, this one, looks like one of the center caps came off. Alright, looks like we're doing okay. So, it's definitely very dusty out of the box, so I've heard some pretty great things about this one. So, let's just check out turning. Whoa, feels really sluggish. Looks like some of the stickers are kind of rubbing off a little. It feels really sluggish right out of the box. It feels very, very sandy. But not bad. I mean, it is a very heavy puzzle for a 7x7, but it's not terrible. Let's see what the checker is like. It definitely feels kind of heavier in the middle layers compared to the outer layers. The outer layers feel really nice. They're really smooth, but it feels really heavy in the middle, so definitely very cool. It's nice to finally have a 7x7 in my collection, so I'm going to go ahead and mix it up. Well, I would recommend it. It is only $15, so you're definitely getting a good puzzle. A lot of the orange stickers are really crooked. Maybe some application tape to be used in the future. So, not a bad puzzle, but there's definitely a few issues out of the box. But I would recommend it. The last competition or WCA puzzle that I have in this box is the square one that I ordered. Now, why did I order a square one? Now, I actually only have one square one in my entire collection, and this is just a ShengShou square one. And it performs really well, but you can totally hear the spring catching whenever I haven't turned it in a while. And it can't really corner cut because it is a cylindrical core, so I'm excited to see what the Chifa has to offer. So it's looking pretty nice right out of the box. And there's another instruction booklet. I'm gonna be swimming in these by the end of this, so looks pretty nice. Oh, this logo is upside down. I'm gonna go ahead and fix that real quick. If I can. Maybe I'll just have to live with it. I'll get it later. So, at least I can solve with white on top for this. I was worried I was gonna have to solve with yellow because, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I'm more comfortable solving with white on top. So, slicing is pretty nice. Layers are kind of slow. It's like the white layer is just a little bit faster. It's a little bit more consistent. So, definitely performs really well right out of the box, and I think the primary internals look pretty nice. So, let's just try parity. I definitely think this looks a lot better than my old ShengShou because I like how you actually have Florian cuts, and I like the primary. I think the primary makes it really look nice. So, I think it performs pretty well. Let's try some corner cutting. I didn't really try that with the 7x7 because it's so slow. Looks like forward's pretty good. This one's pretty good on forward. How's the reverse? Oh, it just went right back to forward. Reverse isn't too spectacular. It's not bad, but it's definitely manageable, but you don't really need too big a reverse cutting. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep mixing it up. That looks sufficient enough to me. So that's all the WCA puzzles that I have. I'm going to now start with the non-WCA puzzles, and I'm very excited to get into these. So these first two that I have here are just two classic shape mods that okay, we're back. So after that mishap. So these two are puzzles that I've just really wanted for a while, and I never got around to getting them. So this one is the Fisher Cube, this is the Windmill Cube. I'm going to start with the Fisher Cube. So let's open that up. It's pretty nice right out of the box. No instruction booklet for this one. So let's put that aside. And I'm really liking these shades. These are, I don't know if these are the half bright or the bright shades, but look pretty nice. Just to kind of get all the layers moving. It's definitely weird gripping this. I have a puzzle like this with the Phoenix Cube from ShengShou, but it just still feels weird gripping this, and this one I think feels a little bit better to grip because all these middle layers are the same width, so it's not awkward to grip in any way. And then just to get all the layers moving, I'm going to checker this. Whoa. Something's catching. Whoa, something's really catching on this white side. Must be the edges. I hope that doesn't become an issue. But, so I'm just going to go ahead and scramble this up. But, yeah, I'm going to call that scrambled up enough. And with that said, let's get into the Windmill Cube. So, these are definitely a little bit more intriguing to me because I actually don't have anything kind of like a Windmill Cube, so... Oh, just a little bit of a cat. Oh, I'm seeing some dust coming out of this. That's not a big deal, but... Whoa, I like that sound. I like that swishy noise. So, just to kind of get all the layers moving, it definitely turns really, really smoothly. And the checkerboard pattern looks really crazy on a Windmill Cube. It just doesn't even look like it should be. It looks like it should be like a wheel or something, but it's not. It's still a bit of a cube. So a Windmill Cube is basically just an even kind of less offset Fisher Cube, but they're still really fun to play with and really fun to solve. So these normal layers do turn pretty well, and Windmill Cubes are easier to solve than Fisher Cubes because Fisher Cubes can have their middle layer edges, so like the red, the orange, the blue, the green. They can have their edges flipped, which means one of the yellow edges would be flipped, like if you start with the white side. So, but that doesn't really happen on a Windmill Cube. So, I think that looks good enough, I guess. I'll take it. I think this is good. So, I really like this Windmill Cube. It's been another one of those classes that I'm just missing, and I'm glad I finally have one of these. We're going to go ahead and do just another classic I was missing, the 3x3x2. So, this one, I don't think it... it does come with an instruction booklet. Good, because I may need this. So, this is just another... Ooh, I was feeling a little bit greasy. This is another one of those just classics that I never had in my collection, and now I finally do, so... I'm glad that it does come with an instruction booklet because I'm definitely probably going to need this to solve. I don't exactly know how the solve process of this is going to work, but just checking out turning here. It's definitely very fast. You can do U2s with one flick, and it's a little bit bigger than I thought it would be, but it's not too big. So just to kind of get all the layers moving. I'm definitely liking this puzzle. First impressions right off the bat. It's definitely very smooth. I can feel the grease kind of getting out on my hands, and you can kind of see it too on camera. Not really, but... And interesting thing about this puzzle, you're actually not really supposed to do this with this puzzle, but it can actually do this kind of weird shape-shifting like that. And you're not really supposed to do that, so I'm not going to scramble it up like that. But you can definitely see that it can do moves like this, and that just makes it a little bit more complex, a little bit more complicated to solve. It's really not supposed to do that, so I'm not going to purposely do that. So it's really just supposed to make 90-degree turns. But it can do this odd shape-shifting move, and I'm not going to bother scrambling with that. So you're really only supposed to make like 180-degree turns, and I'm not sure exactly how the solve process is going to be, but I guess we'll figure it out. What I'm assuming is I can kind of make these puzzles into bars. I mean, not the puzzles, the cubies. I can kind of arrange them in bars. I guess that's about as good as a scramble as I'm going to get. I'm not really doing a whole fantastic job mixing this puzzle up. But what I'm assuming is you're going to have to pair up like this corner with this corner and make them into bars like this. So I think that may be what I do. We'll just have to see what they do. And I'm definitely going to look at the instruction booklet for this if I need to, but I can try to figure it out. So that's another cool puzzle off to the side. So that's 7 puzzles down. We're down to our last 3. These next 2 belong as part of a set, and I did not get the full set. These are going to be the cheap gear cubes. So gear cubes have kind of been known for being made by, it did come with an instruction booklet, interesting. They've been really manufactured by Mefferts and Lanlan, and I don't have all of the originals. I'm definitely hearing some rattling. I don't know if you guys could hear that. Probably not, but they're not known for turning great, but these cheer gear cubes, and I'm going to go ahead and just take the barrel out of the pack. Oh, this one's kind of stuck. So I'm going to take the barrel out of the package as well, because I'm excited for both of these. But they haven't really been made by Chi until now, and I saw J.R. Cuber unbox this, and I'm like, wow, these look really, really cool, and they really do look cool. So, real quick. So I have the original Mefferts gear ball, but I don't have the original Mefferts gear cube or gear shift. So those are puzzles that I'm just going to have to get in the future just to fill gaps in a bunch of these classics that I never got. Even if they already have like different modifications, but the Mefferts are slightly differently designed. So even though this is the gear ball, you can kind of tell. You can see the corners are a little bit different because they have one tooth sticking out like that. The cube doesn't really have that. And the edges have one tooth sticking out towards the center. The Chi gear cube does not have that. And there's also these internal edges right here, but the Chi gear cube does not have that. And what's interesting is you can actually get a state where all these edges are backwards. I'll explain that in just a second. But checking out turning. Wow, that feels really nice. I mean, I was kind of going over this whole thing in my head a long time ago, but this turns really, really well, and I love the feeling of it. So just kind of doing a checkerboard to get the layers all moving. So the interesting thing about a gear puzzle is that, so I'm going to hold it like this. When you turn one layer, it'll actually turn the other layer along with it. So as you can see, I'm going to turn this one layer, and because of the gears, it'll actually turn the opposite layer along with it. So you can really only make 180-degree turns. Actually, not really. When you make one 90-degree turn on one side, it makes the other side turn 90 degrees. And these Chi gear cubes in particular are a little bit crazier because the pieces stick out a lot more than they normally would do, even though I don't own any of the originals. I'm definitely going to make sure I get that before at least next December, not this year maybe. I don't know when or if I'll ever have another chance of getting that, and I'm really liking the texture of this puzzle. I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit. So as you can see, the black plastic is kind of glossy, but these tiles are matte, and man, this feels really, really nice. I don't think I've ever had a puzzle that I've liked so much, besides maybe the Ready Minx that I got last June. But I'll have to show you that one another time, so... Oh, other way. So, I'm definitely very excited to check this puzzle out. So, I'm going to go ahead and scramble it up. Wow, this is feeling really weird just right off the bat. Just the way these pieces stick out is really strange. That looks like a sufficient enough scramble. And I've already taken it out of the box, but we also have the barrel version of it, and oddly enough, both these came with instruction booklets. Don't know why we needed them to, because I'm pretty sure by now most people would have known how to solve a gear puzzle by now. So these barrels are actually really... I don't have a whole lot of barrels in my collection, and this feels really strange because, once again, all the pieces kind of stick out like crazy. And I really like, the feeling is the same. The tiles feel the same. The black plastic is the same sort of finish on the paint. I mean, I don't know if it's paint, but it's definitely really fun to kind of look through as I'm scrambling this one up. It definitely feels pretty weird, and it definitely feels, I keep saying definitely feels. And here it goes again. Problem solved. We're back recording. We've been recording for over 30 minutes. Wow, this is going to be a lengthy video. But some of these tiles are just kind of really smoothly flat, and some of them are a little bit curved, just like that. I'm very excited to get into all these puzzles and just kind of break them in. I'm not actually going to break them, but... And finally, we have one last puzzle in this unboxing, which is the Chi Coin Pyraminx, and another instruction booklet. I think the only puzzles that didn't come with an instruction booklet were the Fisher and Wimbo cube, so that's the last of the boxes. So, another interesting thing here is that I have the original Ancient Coin Cube from Chi. So, we have the Ancient Coin Cube, and the way this puzzle works is it has these faces that turn just like that. Hold on, I'll be right back. Sorry for that. So anyway, the way the Ancient Coin Cube works is it has these circular faces like that also spin, and it turns along the corners when you align all the circles up, and then you can move the circles back to kind of move these pedal pieces out of the way. And it seems really complicated, but it's pretty simple to solve. It's actually really, you can actually figure it out pretty intuitively. So I also got the Pyraminx version of this, and it's been over a year since I got the cube, but this one is definitely a more recent puzzle. I mean, the cube's been out for over 2 years now, so this coin Pyraminx functions in the exact same way. You line up all the circles, and then you can turn the corners, line up the circles, turn it back, and then you can switch around these pieces. And again, it looks really complicated, but it's actually pretty simple to solve. What was I going to say? I already forgot what I was going to say. Well, that's fun. But I think there may be ball bearings on the inside of this one. I mean, that's kind of typical for like puzzles that move in 120-degree increments, but definitely very interesting. So that is, that is all of the puzzles that I got in this order. So I'm definitely very happy with all the puzzles in here, even the 7x7, even though we kind of lost the sticker, we lost the cap. I'm definitely very happy with all of these puzzles, so just getting all of them back into frame. And I'm going to come back eventually and do a solve on all of these, which I'm also going to go ahead and include in the video, but right now I need to kind of charge everything up. So I'm definitely very, very happy with all of these puzzles. I'm very excited to just kind of get into them, see how exactly they solve, especially this and all the other non-WCA puzzles that I got. So that is going to be everything for this part of the video. I'm going to come back and record myself solving all of these puzzles, even though I'm not going to, you're probably not going to have the same scramble, but I'm going to come back and I'm going to solve all of these puzzles on camera for you guys. So that's going to be everything for this bit as I record for almost 40 minutes. So I already forgot what I was going to say. So all these puzzles I'm definitely going to be able to figure out, except for the 3x3x2. I may have to break into the instruction booklet for that. But that's going to be everything for this. I'm going to come back after all of them are scrambled up again, and I'm going to solve them all on camera. So, be right back. So yeah, I tried recording this disclaimer on my phone, but unfortunately it wouldn't import onto the computer. So, this is the end of the video for now. I will be uploading the solve video in the future. I did not want this video to be an hour long. So, I decided to just go ahead and end it here. I will be posting the part 2 pretty soon. But, remember, until then, to have a good one. I'll see you next time. Peace out.